An extremely rare shooting and stabbing attack in Nakano, a rural town in central Japan, ended on Friday with the deaths of 4 people. The suspect, who was detained after a 12-hour standoff with police, is the 31-year-old son of the head of Nakano City Council in Nagano Prefecture. Police responded to reports late Thursday of a man dressed in camouflage stabbing a woman and firing a hunting rifle. The son then barricaded himself in his father's house with a gun and shot at police. The crack of rifle fire caught on camera late at night. 2 police officers were shot and killed. The woman who was stabbed was pronounced dead after she arrived at a hospital. Another elderly woman also died after an apparent knife attack. Local reports say she had been lying on the ground outside her house since Thursday afternoon, and police had been unable to get to her. Few other details were known, including the suspect's motive. The suspect's mother and aunt who were in the house with him had escaped safely. Nagano Police Chief Iwa Koyama.
This is an extremely heinous incident that causes great anxiety to our society and the citizens of the prefecture.
Despite the shooting and killing of Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe last year, shootings are extremely rare in the country where gun ownership is tightly controlled, and a tough vetting process exists for anyone who wants to own a gun. According to the National Public Safety Commission, the suspect had a license for a hunting rifle.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony.
And there they go. It looks like
The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1, the Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.